Finance Minister Shimi yesterday announced an 8.1 billion economic stimulus and relief package to address the effects arising from the COVID-19 outbreak. Joining us via Skype is local economist Mally Likukela to give us his analysis of the initiative. Very good evening to you, Mally, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, Jonas, and good evening, viewers.
Firstly, Mally, what's your overall impression of the package? What would you consider the pros and the cons of the initiative?
Well, first of all, I think I would like to commend government for putting together a rescue package such as that, because not only does it show that government is serious about this, but it also provides confidence and assurance to the nation and to the economy at large that government has got the economy at heart. However, if one take a closer look at the statement or the rescue, the way it is put together, one tends to get a feeling that it was put together with a focus mostly on formal economy. Namibia is a dual economy system. It has informal and formal economy. And if one looks at the crafting, the design of this package, it talks more on the formal sector of the economy, because you meet words like you must be a registered taxpayer. You must have all those formalities in place. So this takes take the informal sector out of the picture somehow. So I think that that's the biggest weakness the statement rescue package. Another one is that it sort of breaks the balance between the demand side and the supply side of the equation, because you do not want to increase the buying power without the security of the supplies, the stockpile. So I don't see that coming out from the rescue package. How are they going to sustain the supply that the financial boost will have to give?
Which area, perhaps, do you also think was overlooked during the putting together of this stimulus package?
I think the informal sector area was overlooked. I'm saying this because if you look at the target industry, the transport, the hotel and luxury, you find that that component is explicitly stated. But the informal sector, which comprises of the taxi driver, the saloon, the cabana seller, it's not mentioned in the statement. If they could mention those industries by name, why couldn't they also mention industries in the informal sector? Because it is easy to get lost in the word, in the statement. At the end of the day, the informal trader will come and they will not really get what they deserve because in the statement.
Yes, yesterday the finance minister said that the money, the release of the money has the health of Namibians in mind as a priority. Now that is understandable, but how do we ensure that doing quote unquote whatever it takes does not undermine the long run monetary and financial stability of the country?
Can you say that again?
I'm saying, how do we ensure that doing whatever it takes does not undermine in the long run the monetary and financial stability of the country? I mean, the finance minister yesterday mentioned that the health of Namibians is of utmost importance, and that cannot be disputed. But in the long run, how do you see this hurting the economy?
Yeah, what is happening is that this stimulus package came as because of the emergency that has happened, that has occurred. So in other words, if this money that we are going to use is borrowed somewhere, it basically means that the cost of this rescue package is shifted forward to the future generation. Unless this money is put to good use, it will be a burden on the future generation, and it will compromise the sustainability of both the physical and the monetary structure of the country.
And lastly, we don't know how long the outbreak will last, but what we do know for a fact is that more jobs will be lost and many businesses will go bust. As an economist, what advice would you perhaps give out to employees and employers also as to how to handle their business during this outbreak? What positives can they get out of this crisis?
Yes, this crisis requires a collective effort, and government have done their part. They have it across a package, and it's for the private sector now to make the best use of that package. Make sure that they find ways to sustain and save the jobs that can be lost if this rescue package was not in place. And I think because we don't know so many things around the crisis right now, all we have to rely on are the projections. And if the projection can help us know how long this will take, then we can plan much, much better. But I think government has got a stake to play here by really looking at those industries that have got high multiplier effect. And I think inclusion of the informal sector is crucial here.
All right, brilliant, Mally. Thank you so much for your time. All right, that was local economist Mally Likukela giving us his analysis of the just announced 8.1 billion economic stimulus and relief package that will address the effects of rising from COVID-19. Meanwhile,